Imagine being homeless, broke, and living in a van, but still believing you were destined for greatness. That was Jim Carrey before Hollywood knew his name. No money, no connections, just a dream and an unshakable belief that he would one day make it. Years later, that same man would be earning $20 million per movie. But how did he do it? Was it luck, talent, or something deeper? The power of visualization, relentless work, and refusing to accept failure? In this video, we'll break down Jim Carrey's journey and show you how to turn your dreams into reality, just like he did. From rock bottom to relentless belief, Jim Carrey's struggles. Before the fame, before the millions, before Hollywood even knew his name, Jim Carrey was just a kid struggling to survive. His family lived paycheck to paycheck, and when his father lost his job, everything collapsed. They lost their home and were forced to live in a van. Most people in that situation would have given up, but Carrey did something different. He laughed. Not because life was easy, but because he refused to let hardship define him. Comedy became his escape, his weapon against despair. He would perform for his family, cracking jokes to lift their spirits, even when reality seemed unbearable. But deep down, he wasn't just trying to make them laugh. He was training himself for something bigger. He wasn't just dreaming of success. He was mentally preparing for it. At 15, he dropped out of school to help support his family. He worked as a janitor, scrubbing floors, cleaning toilets. But every night, he would stand in front of the mirror and practice his comedy. He wasn't just another struggling kid. He was an actor in the making, a comedian sharpening his craft, waiting for his chance. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't luck, it's belief. Even when Carrey had nothing, he acted like success was already his. He saw himself on the big screen before anyone else did. That belief, that unshakable certainty, was the first step toward everything he would later achieve. So ask yourself, what do you believe about your own future? Because belief isn't just wishful thinking. It's the fuel that pushes you to take action, even when the world tells you you'll never make it. Jim Carrey had nothing except faith in himself, and that faith changed his life. The $10 million check, the power of visualization. Jim Carrey didn't just dream of success. He saw it, felt it, and lived it in his mind long before it became real. He believed so strongly in his future that he took a radical step. He wrote himself a check for $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. In the early 90s, when he was still an unknown comedian struggling to get gigs, Carrey grabbed a blank check, wrote $10 million for acting services rendered, and dated it Thanksgiving 1995. He carried it in his wallet every single day, looking at it, believing in it, and telling himself that one day he would be able to cash it. At the time, it seemed impossible. He was just another struggling performer, barely making ends meet. But here's where most people stop. Most people dream of success, but they don't truly believe it will happen. Carrey was different. He didn't just hope, he visualized it. He would drive up to Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles, sit on the hillside overlooking the city, and imagine himself being one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. He didn't just want it, he saw it happening. And then, something incredible happened. In 1994, just before Thanksgiving 1995, the exact date on his check, Jim Carrey landed the leading role in Dumb and Dumber. His paycheck? $10 million. The exact amount he had written on that check years earlier. Coincidence? Maybe. But here's the lesson. What you focus on, you attract. When you see your goal so clearly that it feels real, your brain starts working toward making it happen. You start taking actions, making decisions, and pushing forward in ways you never would have if you didn't believe it was possible. This isn't magic, it's psychology. Carrey used visualization to program his mind for success, and you can too. The question is, what do you see for your own future? Are you setting clear, specific goals? Are you visualizing success in detail? Because if you don't see it, you'll never chase it. So take a moment. Write down your dream, see it, believe it, and hold on to it. Because if Jim Carrey can go from homeless to Hollywood using the power of belief, so can you. Relentless work ethic. Why talent alone wasn't enough. Jim Carrey didn't just dream. He worked harder than anyone else to make it happen. His talent was undeniable, but talent alone isn't enough. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the effort they're willing to put in when no one is watching. When Carrey started doing stand-up comedy, he wasn't an overnight success. He bombed. A lot. His jokes didn't always land, and audiences didn't always laugh. But while most people would have given up, Carrey kept going. Every failure became fuel. He studied comedy like a science, analyzing what worked, what didn't, and how he could improve. He practiced relentlessly, spending hours in front of a mirror perfecting his expressions and body language. He didn't just tell jokes, he performed them with every inch of his being. He exaggerated his movements, contorted his face, and used his entire body as part of the joke. And eventually, that unique style became his signature. The reason people couldn't take their eyes off him. But it didn't stop there. Even when he started getting gigs, Carrey pushed himself harder than anyone else. He drove hours just to perform at tiny comedy clubs for almost no money. He would go on stage, give everything he had, then drive back home and do it all over again. He never made excuses. He never took shortcuts. He just worked. His relentless commitment paid off. He landed a role on In Living Color, where his insane energy and wild characters made him stand out. From there, it was only a matter of time before Hollywood took notice. But here's the truth. If he had quit after those early failures, if he hadn't put in the hours, the effort, the sacrifices, none of it would have happened. Most people wait for the perfect opportunity, the right moment, or some kind of lucky break. Carrey didn't wait. He created his own opportunities through sheer persistence. That's the real secret. It's not about being the most talented. It's about being the hardest worker in the room. So ask yourself, are you putting in the work, or are you waiting for success to find you? Because in the end, it's not luck that changes your life. It's the effort you put in when no one is watching. Jim Carrey proved that dreams don't work unless you do. Are you willing to work for yours? Or overcoming doubt, how he handled rejection and criticism. Jim Carrey's journey to success wasn't smooth. He was rejected, doubted, and told he was too weird, too over the top, too much. Hollywood didn't know what to do with him. But instead of changing who he was, he doubled down on what made him unique. Early in his career, he auditioned for countless roles, only to hear the same thing over and over again. You're not what we're looking for. Casting directors thought his exaggerated facial expressions and wild energy were too much. They wanted actors who fit a certain mold, and Carrey wasn't it. But instead of trying to fit in, he refused to change. He knew that his uniqueness was his greatest strength, not a weakness. He didn't tone it down. He didn't become what Hollywood wanted. He made Hollywood want him. He kept showing up, kept auditioning, and kept performing in comedy clubs. Rejection didn't stop him, it fueled him. And eventually, that persistence paid off when he landed his big break on In Living Color. Suddenly, the very thing people doubted, the thing that made him too much, became the reason he stood out. This is one of the biggest lessons in success. People will doubt you. They will tell you you're not good enough, not talented enough, not the right fit. But the ones who make it are the ones who keep going anyway. The ones who turn rejection into motivation instead of defeat. Carrey later said, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." That's the mindset that separates those who succeed from those who quit. Most people let rejection define them, but Carrey saw every no as one step closer to a yes. So what about you? Have you ever been told you weren't good enough? Have you ever let rejection stop you from chasing something you wanted? If Jim Carrey had listened to his critics, he never would have become one of the most successful actors of all time. The question is, will you let doubt stop you? Or will you push through until the world sees what you're truly capable of? How you can apply Jim Carrey's success mindset. Jim Carrey's story isn't just about fame and fortune. It's about turning belief into reality, using rejection as fuel, and working harder than anyone else. His success wasn't an accident, and it wasn't just talent. It was a combination of mindset, discipline, and relentless action. And the best part? Anyone can apply these same principles to their own life. First, believe in yourself before anyone else does. Carrey didn't wait for Hollywood to validate him. He decided he was going to be successful long before anyone else saw it. Most people wait for permission, for external validation, for someone to tell them they're good enough. But what if you simply decided that you already are? What if, instead of doubting yourself, you started acting as if your success was inevitable? Second, visualize your success with absolute clarity. Carrey didn't just dream, he put his dreams on paper. He wrote that $10 million check and carried it everywhere, programming his mind to focus on the goal. What's your version of that check? Maybe it's writing down your dream salary, envisioning your business thriving, or picturing yourself achieving a major goal. Visualization isn't magic. It's about setting a clear target and training your brain to move toward it. Third, put in the work relentlessly. Success isn't about hoping. It's about showing up every single day, even when no one is watching. Carrey bombed on stage, got rejected over and over, but he never stopped refining his craft. Ask yourself, are you truly giving your all, or are you just going through the motions? Are you treating your goals with the same level of obsession and commitment that Carrey did? Fourth, use rejection as motivation, not defeat. Most people give up after hearing no a few times. Carrey heard no for years. He was told he was too much, too weird, too different. Instead of changing to fit in, he made the world adjust to him. The truth is, most people fail not because they aren't good enough, but because they quit too soon. What if you kept going? What if you used every rejection as proof that you were getting closer to success? Lastly, take risks, because failure is inevitable, but regret is worse. Carrey's father played it safe. He took a secure job as an accountant, but still lost it, and the family ended up broke. That's when Carrey realized something powerful. If failure is possible no matter what, why not take a risk on something you actually love? So what's stopping you? Is it fear, doubt, the fear of looking foolish? Carrey was willing to risk everything, his pride, his comfort, his security, because he knew that the only real failure is never trying at all. The truth is, you already have everything you need to succeed. The only thing left is the decision to go all in. The question is, will you? Jim Carrey's journey proves one thing: belief, persistence, and relentless effort can turn even the wildest dreams into reality. He didn't wait for success to find him. He created it. He visualized, he worked, he faced rejection, and he never gave up. And if he can go from living in a van to making $20 million per movie, what's stopping you from chasing your dreams? The only real limits are the ones you accept. So what's your dream? Drop it in the comments, share this with someone who needs motivation, and remember, your future is created by what you believe today. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Rise and Inspire.